Radio MD.
RadioMD.com.
Become a healthier you 5 days a week. This is Melanie Cole's Health Radio.
If you're single, Valentine's Day always seems to be one of the hardest holidays, and you feel lonely around Valentine's Day, and you look at everybody and say, everyone is in a couple, everybody's in love, and just not me. So how do you stop feeling sorry for yourself and do something nice for yourself? Maybe that involves doing something nice for others as well. My guest is Dr. Ramani Durvasula. She's a licensed clinical psychologist and professor of psychology. Welcome to the show, Dr. Durvasula. So when women or men say to you, oh, Valentine's Day is the worst day of the year because it's all about love and romance and everybody looks like they're a happy couple, what do you tell them?
First of all, they're not. And second of all, it's sold with a set of expectations, right? It's supposed to be romantic love. And in fact, even the people in couples find Valentine's Day frustrating because the restaurants are full or expensive and a dozen roses goes up in cost and all of that. And the folks who are not in relationships, it's almost like a reminder where even those who are comfortably single start wondering, maybe I'm not supposed to be okay with this. Maybe I'm supposed to be in a relationship. So I really think Valentine's Day is sort of a mind game once a year, whether you are or you're not in a relationship.
I think that that's true. And I love that you tell them everybody's not in a happy relationship.
No.
And even if you are, Valentine's Day seems like so much pressure, and to me, it's not the day to go out to dinner because the restaurants jack up the prices and put on a one-fits-all menu. I hate that. And it just feels like there's so much pressure. But now if you're single, what do you tell people to do on and or around Valentine's Day besides going to sleep and waking up when it's over?
I mean, I think it's such a great time, just like almost like a birthday is, to take a minute and sort of celebrate love in that most pure and fundamental way. Love of yourself, love of friends. It's a great day or evening to plan something with friends, with family, with loved ones. You know, people out there who may be single parents, to really make it about them and their kids. It can make it such a special day in that I think we forget, Melanie, that love may actually be the most important of human experiences. Romantic love is just one tiny slice of the myriad ways we experience love. So instead of making Valentine's Day about that one-trick pony of romantic love, I think it's a great day to celebrate the most important thing about being human.
Well, I like to turn it over to the kids anyway and make it more about them and get them fun little chocolates and things like that because I think that that's just more fun for them than worrying about my husband spending money on me for flowers or something else, maybe buy a nice bottle of wine. That I'll certainly always do. What about helping others, doing something for others? Because that gratitude and such sometimes makes you feel better than almost anything else.
There is nothing more self-loving and other-loving than to give of yourself in that way. So those folks who are already sort of plugged in to that kind of, volunteer community service work, it's a great time of year, and certainly that's a great day to amp it up and to get involved. I even say people you don't ordinarily reach out to, this is a great day to give to them. And you know me, I'm not a big fan of giving traditional gifts. I'm always a fan of figuring out what you can do for someone. Maybe they need help, like an older friend who needs help cleaning out a garage or something. Figure out that's something you could do for someone and maybe make Valentine's Day about giving of yourself in that way, maybe an organization in your town that needs some stuff cleaned or painted. It could become a wonderful day of giving. I also think, and this is something I was speaking with about someone recently, we were talking about how we don't often let those closest to us, whether they be friends, kids, partners, know how special they are. And she had suggested that in the 7 days leading up to Valentine's Day, that you leave these little Post-its on a kid's backpack, on the front door, on the dash of a car, and just to say, something you love about them. I love your eyes. I love how you whistle in the morning. Just those little things. Honestly, the Hope Diamond couldn't give back as much as those kinds of little notes that sort of sneak up on you for a week. Think of a way to do that for folks you work with and that you care about, for friends, for children, for loved ones. It can make it, instead of just one day that's about a lot of depression and maybe too much wine, a whole week of really celebrating the people around you and giving back.
You had to go there, huh, with the too much wine? Come on. That's what I live for. My God.
I'm telling you, I've got too many friends who drink too much wine and eat too much chocolate that night. And my sister and I always have a tradition of the day after Valentine's Day, every year on the 15th of February, we go and buy the biggest, tackiest chocolate heart we can and give it to each other. We've been doing
Oh,
it
that's
this year.
fun.
It's so fun. Yeah.
And I love that leaving the nice notes. And for the holidays this year, my 12-year-old daughter gave me a jar full of affirmations, and it was like the best gift
Right.
I received. And you pull one out every day, and one says "Life is short, and so am I," because I'm 4'10" and she's smaller than me, or "Smile today, something something, because remember I love you." Just these little things she wrote down. It was so clever, and I think what a great idea to give somebody just little things that make them feel good, because that's really what it's about.
It absolutely is. And I think that we forget it's those little things, honestly, that affect all relationships. Even marriages actually can go 50 years just because you do the little things. It's not about the grand gestures. But also, you know me, I'm a big fan of all of our relationships, and I think they're all equally important, and that we can cultivate those. We often forget in this busy world of ours to stop and tell people how much we love and care about them. So Valentine's Day can be that wake-up call, stale chocolate and all.
It certainly can now. So for single people, do you advocate them buying themselves? We've seen in sitcoms, they buy themselves roses, they buy themselves chocolate, they do any of those kinds of things. Does that make the situation feel lonelier somehow?
I think it does, because you're buying into sort of the prevailing wisdom around these sort of romantic gifts that in theory are supposed to be given to you. If anything else, you could almost have like a Valentine's Day party with your other single friends that almost feels like one of those white elephant parties where you're kind of giving each other silly gifts or something, if the gift giving matters. But I'd say don't fall into that. Don't fall into that world, and realize that, there's so much joy in being single, sort of finding your stride and being your best you, so that if romantic love does fall into your life, it comes in sort of this optimal way. It's a great day for a brunch, a great night for a party, and don't go to a restaurant and pay those inflated prices, but instead just get together in someone's house. We're about to have a gorgeous weekend here in Los Angeles, supposed to be 75 degrees. So why not go to the beach? There's so many. Go skiing, be outside, but celebrate with those people that you care about. And don't make it about, I'm single and I'm alone. You're not alone. You're surrounded by people. And if not, go make it happen. Find a way to get involved in your community and surround yourself with people. Go to a setting like an elder care facility or something like that, where people may not have, quote unquote, those traditional Valentines, and see the amount of joy you could spread by even working on a craft project or giving back in that kind of a situation as well. We forget how many really lonely people and isolated people there are out there. This isn't about one night of buying yourself chocolate. Like, go out and have some fun with it. And I have to tell you, the single people I know always have the best time on Valentine's
Well,
Day.
I agree with you. And now what about, because we only have, a minute and a half left here, but what about the first new relationshipers? Maybe you're not even like, oh my God, I'm in such lust, or it's a love at first sight, but the new relationship, they just started dating, or it's a first date and there's all this pressure. What do you recommend they do on that day?
I'd say lift the pressure and turn it into something special. I'm a big fan of people not sort of playing hot potato. What should we do? No, I don't know. What should we do? Split the day, and each of you devise part of what that day will be. It may be that one will say, I want to go on a hike, and the other one's like, great, I want to make dinner for us. And so make it a shared day in those new relationships, and maybe a day where you each introduce the other one to something you like to do that your partner may not know how to do, whether it's a certain museum or a film or, a place you like to eat. Make it a fun new adventure rather than feeling like it has to be the same old, spending money and showing up. I've talked to so many people who feel crushed that Valentine's Day isn't all they want it to be. And I say, have fun with it instead of making it about the expectations. Expectations really are what destroy relationships.
They are.
I say this year, remove them. Have fun and introduce each other to each other's worlds. Listen, Melanie, people have been in relationships 15 years, sometimes can still, or 20 or 50 years, can learn new things about their partners. Maybe this Valentine's Day, the wake-up call is try something new and fresh that your partner doesn't know about you.
Great advice. If you missed any of Dr. Durvasula's wonderful advice, you can listen anytime, on demand or on the go at radiomd.com, and you can see more about her at dr-ramani.com. This is Melanie Cole. Thanks so much for listening, and stay well.